For this video, we are going to talk about laws of exponents. So for our previous video, we already talked about the product rule, the power of product rule, and the rule for zero exponents. Now here in this video, we are going to talk about the last three rules or laws of exponents, which is the quotient rule, the power of quotient rule, and the rule for negative exponents. So first, let's talk about the quotient rule. So when we talk about the quotient rule, to divide two expressions having the same basis, just subtract their exponents and copy the base. So sa product rule, if they have the same basis, you need to add their exponents. Sa quotient rule, if they have the same basis, you need to subtract their exponents. So let's say we have these examples. So we have m raised to the 6th power all over m raised to the 3rd power. To simplify this expression, using the quotient rule, just take a look at the bases first. Identify nyo muna kung same yung base nila. In this example, they have the same basis, which is both m. So write m and then subtract their exponent. So 6 minus 3, we now have m raised to 6 minus 3 is equal to 3, and this will be your answer. So m raised to the 3rd power. How about we have another example? So let's say we have a number as the base. So we have, let's say, 3 raised to the 3rd power all over 3. Ayan. So take a look at the bases, of course. So if they have the same bases, then copy the base and subtract their exponent. That is according to quotient rule. So we have 3 minus, kapag walang exponent, ang exponent niya ay 1. So minus 1. So 3 raised to 3 minus 1, that will be equal to 2. And as you can see here, ang base natin is a number. So we need to simplify pa ito. So 3 squared or 3 raised to the 2nd power is simply 3 times 3, and that will be equal to 9. And that is your answer. Okay? How about if the given has a coefficient? So let's say in this example we have 10 a raised to the 10th power all over 2a. So as you can see, meron na tayong coefficient, no? Ang coefficient po is i-divide natin. So 10 divided by 2. And then kung napapansin nyo sa variables natin, they have the same variables, so same bases. So ang gagawin nyo is you need to copy the variable and then subtract their exponents. So 10 minus, wala siya exponent, so that will be equal to 1. 10 divided by 2, that is equal to 5. A raised to 10 minus 1, that is equal to 9. So the answer is 5, a raised to the 9th power. Okay? And then, how about another example? So let's say we have 21 x cubed y squared and z all over 3 x y squared. So let's say we have this example. So using the quotient rule, yung coefficient, you need to divide that. 21 divided by 3. And then, observe the variables. Yung same ng variables, you can subtract their exponent. So, just like x, pareho silang may x. So, therefore, x raised to 3 minus 1. And then, y nila, they have y both. So, y raised to 2 minus 2. 2 minus 2. And then, kung napapansin nyo si Z ay isa lang. Sa numerator lang. So, just copy that. Z. And then, we have 21 divided by 3. That will be equal to 7. X raised to 3 minus 1 is 2. Y raised to 2 minus 2, that is equal to 0. And then copy the same. Okay? So as you can see here, pwede pa natin to i-simplify, yung expression na to, y. So observing this, mayroon tayong 0 na exponent. So again, kapag 0 yung exponent, that will automatically be equal to 1. Okay? So it will become like 7 y raised to the 0 power, that will be equal to 1. So yung 1, imumultiply nyo lang kay 7. So technically 7 pa din yung sagot. So 7x squared z, yan yung sagot. So basically dito parang kinancel out lang natin yung expression na mayroong 0 na exponent. Kasi that will be equal to 1, and 1, kapag minultiply natin sa coefficient, 7 pa din naman yung answer. So just cancel out yung may exponent na 0. So para wala nang confusion na mangyari. No? So the answer is 7x squared z. And then last example, let's say we have y raised to the 9th power all over x, y to the 2nd power. So as you can see dito, ang same lang ng variable or ng basis is yung y, no? So y raised to 9 minus 2. Kung napapansin nyo, kanina si z is nasa numerator siya, kaya natin siya sinulat. Okay? Etong si x nasa denominator siya. Therefore, hindi natin siya tatanggalin doon sa baba kasi nasa denominator siya eh. So, sulat natin y raised to 9 minus 2 over x kasi si x ay nasa baba. Si z kanina is nasa taas. So, therefore, we have no problem sa kanya kanina sa example number 4. Yeah. So, dito sa example number 5, si x is nasa denominator, so hindi natin siya pwedeng dalhin sa taas. So, nasa baba pa din siya. So, simplifying this, we have y raised to 9 minus 2 is 7. So, y raised to the 7th power all over x. X will stay at the denominator kasi dun talaga siya. And we cannot move x sa numerator kasi wala namang x sa numerator. We cannot subtract their exponent. So, this is the answer. Y raised to the 7th power over x. So next is the power of quotient rule. So to simplify expressions using this rule, you need to multiply or distribute the exponent to the exponent of each term in the expression. So let's say we have this example. We have x over y and then naka-raise sila both by m. So technically, you need to distribute m to each term in this expression. So it will become x raised to m over y raised to m. So para mas maintindihan natin, let's have our example number 1. So let's say we have BC and then it is raised to the 2nd power. Okay? So sabi, i-multiply daw yung exponent outside the parentheses to the exponents inside the parentheses. So si B, technically may exponent yan, which is 1. So si 1, i-multiply natin kay 2, which is the exponent outside the parentheses, over C. Si C then may exponent yan, which is 1. Multiply natin kay 2. And then simplifying this expression, we have B raised to 1 times 2, that will be equal to 2. And then over C raised to 1 times 2, that will also be equal to 2. And this will be the answer for that. No, we cannot subtract their exponents because they do not have the same basis. So, B and C, yung basis nila. So, technically, we cannot subtract their exponents. So, the answer is B squared all over C squared. Okay? And then, next example, let's say we have let's say we have a number yung base. So let's say we have 3 raised to the second power all over 3. And then the whole expression is raised to the third power. So using the power of quotient rule, distribute natin si 3 to each term in the expression. So we have 3 raised to the second power. Si 2 i-multiply natin kay 3. And then si 3, may exponent yan, that is 1. Multiply din natin kay 3. Simplifying this, we have 3 raised to 2 times 3, that is equal to 6. And then over 3 raised to 1 times 3, that is equal to 3. Okay? So kung napapansin ninyo, kanina, we cannot subtract or we cannot apply the quotient rule kasi hindi sila same ng base. In this example, same sila ng base, no? Parehong 3. Therefore, we can apply the quotient rule. So, copy the base, which is 3 raised to 6 minus 3. And then, 3 raised to 6 minus 3 is simply 3, no? 3 raised to the third power can be simplified as 3 times 3 times 3. Therefore, the answer is 27. Okay? So, kanina, we cannot subtract the exponents kasi they do not have the same bases. In this example, we can subtract the exponents kasi they have the same bases, which is both 3. Okay? So, pwede sa isang problem, we can apply more than one na rule or na law ng exponents para ma-simplify natin. And then next example number 3, let's say we have a coefficient. So 2x over, let's say, y squared and z to the third power, and the whole expression is raised to the second power. So again, i-distribute natin to each term in the expression. So 2, may exponent yan 1. So i-multiply natin si 1 kay 2. X then may exponent yan 1, multiply natin siya kay 2. Which is the exponent outside the parentheses. And then we have y, may exponent siya 2, i-multiply natin kay 2. And then we have z raised to the third power, si 3, multiply natin kay 2. Simplifying this expression, we have 2 raised to 1 times 2, that is equal to 2. X raised to 1 times 2, that is equal to 2. Over y raised to 2 times 2, that is equal to 4. Z raised to 3 times 2, that is equal to 6. Okay, now here, kung napapansin nyo, it can be simplified pa by simplifying this expression, c 2 raised to the second power. Pwede pa natin siya i-simplify, no? So, ang mangyayari dyan is 2 raised to the second power can be simplified as 2 times 2, that is equal to 4. And then, copy na lahat. X squared over y to the 4th, z to the 6th power. We cannot apply the quotient rule kasi wala naman tayong same ng bases sa numerator and denominator natin. Therefore, this will be now our final answer. And then, last example. Let's say we have 3 squared and then c to the 4th power over 3c. And then the whole expression is raised to the 3rd power. Again, distribute natin yung exponent outside the parentheses and according sa power ng quotient rule, no? So, 3 raised to the 2nd power, multiply natin si 2 kay 3. And then c to the 4th power, multiply natin si 4 kay 3. All over 3, 1 yung exponent niya, multiply natin kay 3. C, 1 din exponent niya, i-multiply natin kay 3. Simplifying this expression, we have 3 raised to 2 times 3, that is equal to 6. No, 3 raised to the 6th power. C raised to 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? All over 3 raised to 1 times 3 is 3. And then we have C raised to 1 times 3 is 3. So kung napapansin nyo, sa numerator and denominator natin, we have expressions na may same na base. Okay? Same yung base. So we can still simplify that by subtracting their exponents or applying the quotient rule. So we have 3, same ng bases yung 3, so minus natin or subtract natin yung exponents nila. So we have 6 minus 3, and then C, same sila ng base, so subtract natin exponent nila, 12 minus 3. So we have 3, 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. So 3 raised to the 3rd power, and then C raised to 12 minus 3, that is equal to 9. And then observing this expression, we have 3 raised to the 3rd power, C raised to the 9th power. Si 3 raised to the 3rd power, pwede pa natin i-simplify yan by multiplying 3 times. The answer will be 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and then C raised to the 9th power. So this will be now our answer. Okay? So that is how you apply the power of quotient rule. Lastly, we have the rule for negative exponent. So sabi, any real number or even expressions having a negative exponent, always remember that you need to cancel out that negative sign by getting the reciprocal of the expression that has the negative exponent. So let's say, for example, we have 4,350 and it is raised by negative 1. So, you need to get the reciprocal of the expression or of the base na mayroong negative exponent. So, this is a whole number. So, basically, ang denominator niyan ay 1. So, pagbaliktarin lang natin yung position ni 4,350 at saka ni 1. So, si 1 mapupunta siya sa numerator, si 4,350 mapupunta sa denominator. And as you can see, hindi ko na sinulat yung 1 na exponent niya kasi right after nyo i-reciprocal, magiging positive na yung exponent niya. And hindi ko na sinulat yung 1 dahil obviously, kapag walang exponent dyan, 1 yung exponent niya. So therefore, the answer for this example is equal to 1 over 4,350. Next example, let's say we have a raised to negative 2, and then we have b squared, and then we have c raised to negative 3. Okay. So dito, as you can see, ang meron lang negative na exponent ay si a at saka si c. So therefore, kung nasa taas si a, mapupunta siya sa baba. Okay? So, sulat muna natin yung may mga positive na exponent, which is b squared. So, b squared all over si a raised to negative 2. Nasa numerator siya. So, may negative exponent siya. So, kukunin niyo yung reciprocal niya. Mapupunta lang siya sa baba. So, a squared. Kung napansin nyo, si negative 2 naging positive na kasi you already get the reciprocal. And then si c raised to negative 3, as you can see, nasa denominator siya. Kunin yung reciprocal, mapupunta lang siya sa numerator. So, sulat natin c raised to the 3rd power. And then positive na si negative 3 kasi you did get the reciprocal of that. And this will be your answer. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, there is just a change sa position nung merong mga negative na exponent. And then we have example number 3. Let's say we have b raised to the 2nd power, c raised to the 2nd power, all over b raised to the 5th power, and c. So as you can see dito, we can simplify this expression by applying first the quotient rule kasi same yung bases ng nasa numerator and denominator. So we have b, and then always remember na yung minuend yung numerator. Okay, so 2, we have 2 minus 5. And then we have C, 2 minus 1. Okay, so we have B raised to 2 minus 5, the answer is negative 3. And C raised to 2 minus 1, the answer is simply 1. So, pwede nyo nang hindi isulat yung exponent kasi 1 lang din naman yun. Kung napansin nyo dito, CB, negative exponent niya. Therefore, if you are going to write the answer here, sulat nyo si C kasi positive yung exponent niya. CB raised to the negative 3 power, dalhin nyo siya sa denominator kasi meron siyang negative exponent. And sulat nyo yung positive na exponent niya right after nyo siya ni-reciprocal or dinala doon sa denominator. You already reciprocal, so therefore, write the exponent in positive sign. So the answer here is C over B raised to the third power. So that's it. That is how you apply the rule for negative exponent. And that is all about laws of exponents.